and welcome to All Queen Network. I'm Cece and you're the queen. So today, this is the 8th installment. It's part 8 of Really Real Queens. These are real women who accomplished a lot and were very successful in what they did. They might have not been successful at everything, but they were successful with what they did and what was in their heart to do. So the first one today is Wilma Rudoph. She was an Olympic gold medalist. In fact, she won her first 2 gold medals at the age of 16. Then she went on to win 3 gold medals 4 years later at the Rome Olympic Games. So she was 20 years old then, and she had a baby when she was 17, and she still managed to keep up and succeed and excel in running. So this is awesome. This just kills me. So anyway, she was the fastest woman in the world and the first to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympic meet. The very first one to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympic meet. That's pretty cool. She did this after suffering from polio as a child and giving birth to her daughter when she was 17. I said that about the baby. That's really phenomenal. So she was a queen at a very young age. Some of us, it takes us longer to reach that goal. Wilma Rudoph later married and had more children. She taught school and coached track at the school where she worked. She established the Wilma Rudoph Foundation that helps young athletes. So she was really cool. She was a queen. She was a running queen. Okay, and then, how about you? Does that inspire you? I'm just in awe of her and all of these women who just made phenomenal strides. Pardon the pun. Then we have Wilma Mankiller. She was born just 5 years after Wilma Rudoph, under similar circumstances. She was in a child in a large family, and she was part Cherokee, and they lived in Oklahoma. Then later they moved to California because the government had a program where they would move them to California and whatever that entailed. So she got married, she grew up, she got married, and she had 2 daughters. But she realized that she was not meant to be a stay-at-home mom. She just, it's not fun. It's not fun to be staying at home all day, every day. Especially if you're a single car family, it's difficult. But anyway, a lot of us have done it and it's nothing new, but it's not fun. So she said, I wanted to set my own limits and control my destiny. Isn't that something we all want? Don't feel guilty about wanting to control your own destiny. Some people may try to make you think you're wrong for doing that, but you're not. And she later wrote, I did not have to live a life based on someone else's dreams. I heard that one. Wilma Mankiller worked for her tribe, after she moved back to Oklahoma with her daughters, the Cherokee Nation, which is the main office, the tribal headquarters are in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. So she worked for the Cherokee Nation in a few different positions before she ran for principal chief. she did different things like helping the Cherokees with, getting water and things like that. A lot of things. They do a lot for the Cherokees. The tribe does a lot for them. But when she ran for principal chief, guess what? The Cherokees had never had a female chief, never had a female principal chief. So this caused quite an uproar because, she was a woman. Some members refused to support her, but she won the election and she became the first principal chief of the Cherokee Nation in 1985. Now, a lot of the tribes now have voting, whereas they didn't many years ago. It was determined by, like royalty. So a lot of them have voting for the chief position. So anyway, she was, for 10 years, she was the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, 5 to 1995. So 10 years she was the principal chief. She was awarded the Medal of Freedom by President Bill Clinton in 1998. So that's really awesome. Anybody who did things first is pretty awesome in my book. What would you like to do? And what would you like to do first before any other woman or before any other person? What things that you would like to do? She inspires me, but I don't want to be the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. I couldn't. And then we have Madeline Albright. She and her family escaped the Nazi invasion. Eventually, they ended up in Colorado. She married, had children, and attended college. After college, she became a university professor and later a United Nations ambassador. And finally, she was the first female Secretary of State ever, long before Hillary Clinton. So, and they said people appreciated her and admired her because she was tough as nails, but she was also tactful. She was quick-witted and fluent in several languages. She had the ability to deal effectively with anyone. So that's an awesome skill to have. Just being able to deal with people and all the different types of people and all the different mentalities we have. Being able to deal with anyone is huge. I admire that, and I guess I'm working on that. I guess I'm working on that sometimes. So she opened a lot of doors for us. She opened the door for Hillary Clinton, that's for sure. But anyway, awesome queen who did things that nobody else had done before. She was the first Secretary of State of the United States. Did I say that right? She was the first female Secretary of State of the United States. So, here's a fun one. You might remember her. So here we go. We have Shirley Muldoney. She grew up in Schenectady, New York, and when she was just 16 years old, she married Jack Muldoney, and she wanted to race cars, and so he built her first race car for her to race on the racetrack. And he enjoyed doing that. That was his thing. Hers was driving the car. He didn't want to drive the car. He just wanted to build it. He was good with his hands, and that was the kind of thing he wanted to do. So the two of them teamed up in the drag racing field. Then in 1965, Shirley Muldoney was the first woman ever to receive a NHRA Pro license. She was the very first woman to receive the NHRA Pro license. So, and that was difficult because a lot of the men didn't like having a woman out there racing against them, especially when she beat them. And she did a lot of that. So that had to be difficult for her, very difficult. But she had the ability to do it, and she got the pro license, and she went on to win her first event in 1971. Her first major event, I should say, in 1971. So 6 years it took of hard work. She didn't give up. That had to be difficult when you wonder, are you ever going to make it? Is it ever going to turn out the way you want? Are people going to continue to support you? Or are people going to continue to hate on you? But she persevered, and 6 years after she got her NHRA Pro license, she finally won her first major race. So, the other drivers, like I said, the other drivers tried to intimidate her and bullied her and threatened her. And the racing fans were about the same. They didn't like having a woman out there showing off and being all good at things they do. No, they didn't like that. So eventually, she and her husband were a good team for quite a while, but eventually she got divorced from her husband. But she continued to race, and by that time she was able to get a team together, and she won 18 NHRA national events. In 1984, this was terrible. 1984, her dragster crashed, and she was severely injured. She had broken bones and burns and all kinds of things. It was bad. It took her 2 years of recovering and physical therapy and doctor's appointments and all that. 2 full years for her to recover from that accident. And she persevered. She got back into drag racing again. Awesome. That's real perseverance there. So, and then there was a movie called Heart Like a Wheel about Shirley Muldoney's life. She was also called Cha-Cha Muldoney, which was Connie Kalita came up with that name for her, and he was instrumental in helping her with her career when a lot of people were against her. I mean, I think it's difficult enough to be a drag racer or any kind of racer or in any kind of sport or any field, but it's even worse when people are against you. Amazing that she was able to do it, but finally she did, and she opened the doors. There are a lot of women in racing now. There are a lot of them. So she was the queen of drag racing. Today, that wasn't so bad, was it? Interesting women who really stepped out and succeeded and excelled at what they did. We don't want to do all the things that they did. We don't want to be Secretary of State. We don't want to be a race car driver, all of us. Some of us might. We don't want to be running in the Olympics. And we don't want to be the chief of the Cherokee Nation or any other, or we couldn't unless we were part of that tribe anyway. So, but there are things that probably you would like to do that you've never done before. So maybe no one has ever done those things before. So this is your inspiration to sit down and write down what it is you want to do. Anyway, so today we have Wilma Rudoph, Wilma Mankiller, Madeline Albright, and Shirley Muldoney. Which one inspires you? So this is part 8, and we're going to work on part 9 coming up soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. Get ready, because we're our next mini queens. Hopefully you'll be in there. Maybe you'll be in our 10th or 12th part of this series. That would be cool. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Really, I appreciate you being here with me. Otherwise, I'd just be standing here talking to my camera by myself. Anyway, thank you so much. Be inspired. And the most important thing, though, is don't forget to love yourself. Love ya.